Mrs. Body is found dead around 10 p.m. next to a car in South Garage. The murder is thought to be a plastic spoon from the student union, but there is little evidence that supports this. Mrs. Body was coming from Gamble after meeting Gino. They had just had an extravagant meal of Union mac and cheese. Before seeing Gino, she had just come from a meeting in MSV with her department head about what to do with a student who had been caught cheating on their exam. Authorities have 4 separate suspects in custody and are interrogating them in hopes of finding the culprit. Here are their stories. Tell me what you did on Monday, December 4th.
I woke up for my 8 a.m. class at 7 a.m. and I couldn't find any parking in any of the close lots, so I had to park all the way in W lot. And when I went to catch the bus, I missed the bus and got on the wrong one because I don't know the bus routes, and I had to go all the way around campus.
I ended up being extremely late to my 8 a.m. Then I had a 6 p.m. math exam, which I knew I failed. I ended up going to the dairy bar to drown in my sorrows. I met my friend Sage Peacock at the co-op to buy a tailgate shirt for the next day. When we walked out of the co-op, we saw our classmate, Allie White, with blood all over her hands, running into the co-op bathroom. Then Sage drove me to my car, and we both got home.
Walk me through your day on Monday, December 4th.
Okay, I guess. So I usually start my day around 8 a.m. and I go to the gym in Manchester because the UConn gym doesn't suffice. So after the gym, I came home and I showered and then fell asleep on the couch to my favorite Netflix show. I had classes, but I didn't go to them because I didn't want to. That night, I went to work and everything was normal. I saw Miss Body walk into Gino's office and close the door behind her. I heard furniture rocking and loud screaming. About 45 minutes later, Miss Body left his office. That night, Gino said I could leave early. My original shift was supposed to end around 10:30, but I left around 9:30. I walked over to Barnes & Noble on campus, where I was meeting up with my friend Emma to shop. I saw some girl that Emma seemed to know. She ran into the bathroom all bloody and shit, and I never saw her come out. Weird, if you ask me.
Tell me what you did on Monday, December 4th.
I woke up really early because I had an exam with Mrs. Body, and I was already failing the class, so it was the only opportunity I'd left to pass.
The student next to me in the exam had seen me using my phone to cheat. After the exam, I saw the student next to me confront Mrs. Body and point back to me in my direction. I was worried that Mrs. Body was going to tell the dean of students about my misconduct. I couldn't be at stake to be kicked out of the school. The stress of the test caused me to have such a bad bloody nose. I ran into the bathroom at the co-op with blood on my hands because I was trying to stop the bleeding. I saw my classmate Emma Mustard looking for a hat to cover her face in the store. After that, I walked into the South Garage to get my car, and that's when I saw Mrs. Body dead, laying on the floor unconscious. I ran over to her body to see if she was all right, but it was obvious to see that she was already dead. Seeing her dead body was so disturbing, I ran to my car and drove home as quickly as possible.
Seeing her body was just so disturbing that I got in my car and went home as fast as I could. And then by the time I got home, her death was already on the news. I just can't talk anymore, I'm sorry.
I don't know why I'm here. I really don't know why I'm here. Is it about Miss Body? I don't know what happened to her. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm here. So
Can you just tell me about what you did on Monday, December 4th?
I just do what I normally do. I had like no early classes, so I got up at like noon, and then I had breakfast at the North Dining Hall, and then my class started at like 1, and then like just continued throughout the day till like 3. After class, I was hungry, so I decided to go to the Union to get my favorite meal, which was mac and cheese. While I was waiting in line, I saw Miss Spotty. She was picking up mac and cheese too. I tried to say hi, but she was really frantic. She was in a hurry to go somewhere else. So I just got my mac and cheese. I was late for my lecture because of that. It started at like 6 and ended at 9 in like the business school. On my way to the commuter lot, I grabbed my car. I noticed Miss Spotty escaping from Gamble in tears. It looked like she was on her way to the South Garage, but I was walking up the hill and lost sight of her.